Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome to TTTV. And you know what day of the week that is? That's right, it's a Friday. And it's time for some TTFL action. And tonight in the box is me, just by myself, as always, is Steph. Hope you guys are glad to come and join me after you had your dinner and desserts, having the ice cream or alcohol for the adults. But now you come to join me for round 21, which is the last race of the season. And what place to do? Then it is in Abu Dhabi. So before we go on through, we go through the drivers and the constructors standings for potentially the last time. So season 3, round 20 then. Starting off with the drivers then. Season 3 world champion Hamilton is at the top with 256, with Spike in second with 178, with Siege in third with 173, Lambo in fourth with 133 points. We got the Gort in fifth with 125, Spaghetti Chips in sixth with 123, Sinclair is seventh with 109, Maze is in eighth with 83, Poe is in ninth with 73, Plaster in 10th there with 64. Got Ollie P in 11th with 52 points. We've got Squeezy though in 12th with 50 points. Struth in 13th with 49 points. Alan Cade there in 14th with 41 points. SJ Miller in 15th with 37 points. Fletcher in 16th with 27 points. We've got Rapid and Damien B there with 24 points, tying up for 17th place. We've got Maximus there in 19th with 22 points. Frankie there in 20th with 18 points. Zenki in 21st with 12 points, C3 with 22 points there, 22nd place there with 6 points, not with 22 points, my apologies. 23rd there, we've got Sean there with 5 points, and then we've got Saki Kid there in 24th with 4 points. So that is your driver standings then, and as for the constructors then. Season 3 World Champions Constructors winners there. McLaren now on top there with 362, with Red Bull in second with 314 points. We've got the McLarens in third, Mercedes in third with 230 points there. We've got Red Bull in fourth with 229, Sauber in fifth with 217, Force India are in sixth with 177, Ferraris are seventh with 134. We've got the Haas and the Toro Rosso there tying up for 8th place there with 102 points there. And we got the Williams there in 10th place with 90 points then. So that is your drivers and the constructors there as of round 20. So then the last race and the finale in Abu Dhabi has been known for some excitement since it's been on the grid for the last race of the season. Potentially the most exciting one, I'll probably say, would be the 2010 World Championship, when you had not just one, not just two, not just three, you had about 5 drivers that battling up for the World Drivers' Championship between Vettel, Webber, Alonso, Jenson Button and Lewis Hamilton, which then obviously Vettel won by strategically timed pit stop and controlling the race in his favour, hoping that his rivals behind him faded away and losing their hopes and claim his first title, and then since then went on to win another 3 more in terms of titles. So, well, fortunately tonight though, we ain't got no drivers or constructors battles for the deciders here tonight, unfortunately, but still, we have got very fine drivers here tonight. You're happy to battle out for pride and, you know, pull off some amazing charges throughout the field and potentially win the last race of the season, enabling to aim out the best on the high, ready for the next season. So, obviously the drivers there just coming in, getting ready, getting their car sorted. But season 3, where do we start for season 3? Well, season 3 has been an amazing season, up and down across the field, all over. Drivers there literally scoring the amount of points as much as they can for themselves and also for their team, and also trying to aim for the title. And obviously got a world champion this season, which is Hamilton, but unfortunately he decided to retire just for the end of the season, just not long after clinching the title. So Unfortunately, it's a shame that he's not with us now, unfortunately, but maybe potentially have a return later on. So, pretty much this is like a straight battle then for second place then. And for the drivers standings wise, between two world champions, between Spike versus Siege. Obviously the two titans one piece on terms of world champions between them. Hopefully they both will be looking forward to next season. Maybe one of them battling out for getting the title. I'm sure we all love to see that happening. Obviously Spike not been in a few races due to outside commitments and stuff he has to do. And but still managed to maintain points wise. He's not far much ahead of Siege in terms of points. We've also got the Ferrari boys of Adam Kay and Plaster. Obviously bringing up points for Ferrari, doing an amazing job between them two. Obviously great teammates and know how to race each other and obviously help each other out. But also seen, you know, good in potentials for obviously newcomers as well throughout the league as well. In terms of Mr. Miller, Maximus as well. C3 making a return back to full racing, debut full-time racing. And also some new drivers as well. I think we've got like one or two that's probably featured in tonight, I believe. Yes, we do. So, got KLC 73. Obviously used the race in the league and also helped us in the comms as well, a few points. But now he's come back as a racer and hopefully to see what he can do, improve himself, ready for potentially season 4, maybe getting the race seat. And also we've got LFC Leroy there as well, joining the fray as a new driver. Hopefully keep an eye on him, see what he can do, proving himself, ready for season 4. And we also got Damien B as well, joining back as well, so everything was all looking forward to. So then, heading off to the finale qualifier session of the season. Obviously in Abu Dhabi, racing in twilight conditions where it starts off sunny, ends in pretty much darkness. Also raced underneath the floodlights as well, so well, great way to end the season on. Unfortunately, no, the drivers will not be celebrating champagne on top of that podium tonight. It'll be rosewater instead, so they'll be thinking, oh yes, champagne at the end, which is technically not. Right then, so 18 minutes of qualifying is now underway for the last time. So, the tyre compounds we have got then is the Hypersofts, Ultra Softs and Super Softs, I believe. I could be wrong, could be Hypersofts, Super Softs and Softs. We'll find out as we go through. Still the drivers there just getting themselves ready up, gearing up, putting the field loads in, selecting their tyres they want to go out and race on. And then that's not a good sign there. Siege, they're leaving the session. Hope he can get back very quickly. And yes, I can confirm the tyres. There's a Hypersofts, Ultra Softs and a Super Softs we're racing for tonight for the last time. And there we go, we've got a couple of cars coming out on track then. And it looks like that is a Red Bull, and I believe that is C3 coming out onto the track. So we'll just get logged onto C3. Obviously, got to wait for him just to come out a little bit onto track, just to pick him up a bit better. No, first person out on track. Let's see who is the first person out. It is Struth. Struth is the first man out on track, so he will be my guinea pig guide around the Abu Dhabi circuit. And he only just got out as well, ahead of KLC 73. So then, Abu Dhabi features two massive long back straights. Both of them are DRS zones, which are the two only zones. And obviously Fletcher there is also joined, but unfortunately he will be stern at the back, believed to be on a default setup due to he missed the participation time of getting into qualifying. So that is the price you pay for not arriving in on time. Still though, got 13 people out there doing the qualifying runs. And still going on board then with Struth. He has got the Red Bull of KFC behind him. Hopefully he should just be backing off a little bit just to create himself a space. But Struth will be the first man to just go over the line and start a flying lap, and we will go on board with him. So coming around the last corner now is Struth, getting himself lined up and blitz down towards the straight, and there we go, over the line, here we go. Heading down towards turn 1, then picking up a marker board of 100 metre board, brake there nicely, 4th gear into turn 1, getting nicely under control there, going into turn 2, fast left hander and a long right hander off turn 3, which is flat out. As long as you don't go too off wide, otherwise you'll be on the bumps. Now heading into turn 4 and turn 5, a very heavy braking zone, and slow to corners, and then into turn 6, the slowest point on the track with a massive hairpin. Again, keeping it under control there, and then a long blitz down the straight with the DRS zone coming up to you straight away. Obviously, being a longer straight, pretty much you can sit back and relax and chill, even make a cup of tea at this point before you're coming down towards the braking points of turn 7. Again, heavy braking zone coming down into turn 7, then and into turn 8. It's a very technical section. Get this right, you can easy for the second part of the straight, which is on now. DRS is now open again, heading down towards turn 9 again, looking for that 100 metre board. There we go, 100 metre board there, breaking into turn 9 and then turn 10 and turn 11. This is a very quick section of quick left, right, left. Again, back end one's come out there, but kept under control into turn 12. Again, keeping it stable there for Struth so far into turn 13 and turn 14 as it's double apexed. And then heavy braking into turn 15, which can be very easy off putting, and into turn 16. Again, keeping it under control. Now turn 17, be careful on the exit, do not hit the walls, which it doesn't, so it's all good. Now it's turn 18 and then turn 19. Sector 3 is very technical. If I get it right, you can help you out on the lap. Back in one's come up there, and it's over the line there for Struth then with a 1 minute 35.543. So obviously you can see they're coming over the line. It looks like he's invalidated his lap time, but Maximus didn't know he's coming over the line on a set of Super Soft 7 on 137.3. So Struth followed by Maximus there at the moment so far. Next man over the line will be Leroy there, but unfortunately his lap's invalidated, so he will have to go around again. Meanwhile though, C3 put in a good performance there with 136.0 on the set of Super Softs there. Good lap time there for the Red Bull driver. Hoping to get his season off, ending off to a high note, so... Meanwhile though, the next one over the line was Suarez there. Or should I know as Funky though. He's recently joined the TTG Esports League. So congratulations there for joining the TTG Racing Team. And he goes into P3 with a 136.082 then. Again, also selected the Super Soft tyres there. So some of them have decided to go for the alternative strategy. Meanwhile though, Darren Sinclair, also known as TTG Sinclair, going up there on his flying lap now for the second Sauber driver. Meanwhile they've got yellow flags in sector 2 and sector 3. But meanwhile though, might be a case of a slow Struth deck, just getting out the way there. Meanwhile though, we have got most of the cars currently up there on track at the moment. Sean there, supporting the Ferraris for tonight, coming in for as a reserve. So good to see Sean in the league as well. Meanwhile though, Alan Kay was the next one to set the lap time with a 139.1 there. So not bad lap time there for Alan. Obviously again opted for the Super Soft tyres. Meanwhile though, Leroy though does come over the line and gets a lap time in with a 135.8 there on a set of Super Softs. Not far off time of Struth's lap time. Yet Struth has I believe his best lap time is set on a set of ultras there. So Leroy there has got pace. Meanwhile though, Suarez there goes over the line. P3 improved with a 135.9, doing another lap on them Super Softs, so everyone's there getting peace. Meanwhile though, Darren Sinclair goes on top with a 135.1. So good lap time there for Darren then. We'd like to see what he's like on even softer tyres and see what lap times he can do. But for time now though, with the 135.1 on set supers, I'm sure he'll be mighty happy with that. But I know he'll be straight back out there and put out another blistering lap time. Meanwhile though, KLC 73, sorry, having a little bit of fun, problems setting a lap time at the moment. Maybe just not dialed in as much as he wants, or just not hooking up a good lap. But heading up towards the last corner now anyway. See what lap time he can do. Ooh, losing the back end there, nearly going into the wall. But he comes over to 137.8 there. So into P7. Probably would ideally like to be a little bit more upwards maybe causing a little bit of mistakes there. But he's got himself a banker lap for now on a set of Hypersofts there. It looks a little bit used up there, but I'm sure he'll get lap time quicker later on. Meanwhile though, the Ferrari of Sean come around the last bit of sector 3. See what he does. Meanwhile, that is the Force India of Suarez there going into the pits. But meanwhile, though, Sean has also gone into the pits as well. So a lot of drivers up there, like setting lap times and just banking a lap. Maybe just preserve the tyres a little bit. Meanwhile, though, Damien B though racing in the Toro Rosso. Maybe is he going on the in lap or currently on the lap at the moment? No, he's getting himself geared up. He's going for a lap. Go on board with Damien then. Coming over the line now then. Headed down towards turn 1. Damien there being very tentative. There goes understeering there into turn 1. That is not going to help his lap time whatsoever. He's probably lost about at least half a second or potentially a second there. Again lifted off in turn 3. Not a good lap time, lap so far here for Damien. Maybe just a case of just getting a banker and just get his timing on the board there at least. Well, going through the long straight here. Damien with DRS open. Hitting just on 200 miles an hour mark. Heading down towards turn 7. Heavy braking point. Getting nicely under control there this time round. And also through turn 7, turn 8. Back in there trying to get away there as there's a little bit of a bump on the exit. But now Damien keeping it under control, heading up towards the turn 9, turn 10 and turn 11. See how he fares around this section. Ooh, back end there trying to escape, but again keeping it just under control. But gets through turn 12 in those in these. And turn 13, turn 14, 15. Again, Damien there just keeping the car pointing in the right direction. Watch the wall on the exit there. Again, keeping well away from the wall. Maybe it's just a case of a safety lap here for Damien just to get a lap time on the board at least. There you go, back in there. He wants to come out again on the exit, but comes over the line with a 138.6 there, so good lap time there for Damien. He'll be just mighty relieved that he's got through a lap and getting a lap time on the board there, so as we're coming up to the 7.5 minute remaining mark left of the session, then we got Darren on pole there with a 135.1, Struth in second, with Z3 in third, Leroy in fourth, with Suarez in fifth, Maximus in sixth, Alan K 7th, KLC 73 in 8th place, and Damien in 9th then. So that is your top 9 there who set a lap time. Still got Maze, Sean, Spike and Siege yet to set a lap time. Yeah, it looks like Sean is going up there now to set a lap time on his flying lap. Here he goes. And I'm pretty sure I just saw him have his DRS open, maybe just a case of a glitch, but I shouldn't say he shouldn't have a DRS fully open. Last time that was allowed, that was back in 2011 to 2013. But still though, Sean there joining in for tonight, supporting the Ferrari. Looks like Plaster couldn't make it tonight, so that's a shame really. So Sean there filling in as a reserve, and doing so he's joined up with Ferrari, partnering up with Alan Caden. So, see how the Ferrari boys will do tonight. Mays, meanwhile, has opted to not set a lap time at all. He's opted to retire the car and save his tyres for the race. Meanwhile, though, back on with Sean here. It's looking a good lap here so far here for the Ferrari driver. Coming into the very technical areas of Sector 3. See how he fares around with that. Not in the apex there as he wants to, going off wide in the back end, just wants to come out a little bit, but keeping it all under control so far. And there we go, coming up towards the hotel section. Lovely hotel. And there we go, coming round towards the last couple of corners. Keeping it well under control so far there, Sean. And now into the last corner. Again, very tidy here. What's the lap time going to be? It's a 1:36.9 there for Sean. That puts him in P7 and is ahead of Alan Kay. So Sean there with a good lap there. And obviously gets ahead of his teammate, though I'm pretty sure Alan will be out there responding to that, maybe trying to go quicker. Meanwhile, though, we've got Streif out there again. It's at the moment, it is a Sauber 1-2. Now, if they can hold it off and get 1-2 for Sauber, I'm pretty sure they'll be mighty pleased with that result. It's like Sinclair and Streif partnership has been going well so far this season. Getting a good amount of points there for Sauber. Meanwhile, though, C3 obviously in P3 at the moment, putting in a best personal session so far, so C3 will be mighty pleased if he hangs on for P3 for another 4 minutes at least. But Streif, though, looks like Streif is trying to challenge his teammate for pole. This will be interesting. Why is it coming over the line? He has not improved. Streif has not improved, and he still remains in P2. Meanwhile, though, we have got Siege. Siege then obviously recently just put himself up into P6 with a 1:35.8 on a set of super subs there. So maybe Siege is he going to improve again? Not at the moment. Remains in P6, but still good lap time on the slowest tyre going. So Maximus there doing so well so far, up into P7. Although he has done an extra lap on those ultra softs. Not what he planned, I'm sure, but I'm pretty sure though he'll look for a quicker lap time. But he doesn't want to be doing too many laps on them because it can impact you in the race for sure. Obviously underneath floodlights, track's going to be cooler, but again, you don't want to be burning your tyres out too early on in quali. You got to think of race. Meanwhile, there is yellow flags in Sector 2 and Sector 3, which happily disappeared there, so which is all good. Meanwhile, though, Spike is on the charge, and he's on the charge to see if he can get on the front row, potentially pole. But he's on a flyer at the moment, opted to go on the super softs. Now, that would be an interesting strategy. If Spike can get pole on a set of super softs, then that will play well into his hands. He is yet the only one to set a lap time, so Spike is all pressure on him. See if he can get a good lap time and a good spot in the race. He has got at least one more lap there, and that lock up there, that ain't going to do him any favours. Going deep in 7, compromise for 8. And I think, is he backing up? Yeah, Spike there is just backing off there. I think he realised that that run ain't going to do any justice in terms of time wise. But still though, meanwhile though, Darren Sinclair out there again. See if he can extend his lap time. Meanwhile though, Maximus there has opted to retire. So Maximus there thinking that's the best lap time he can do, and just sails there for P7. But though all of the field apart from Siege is out on track at the moment, exception of the ones that are retired. So Sinclair then currently out there on the lap at the moment. He has also got his teammate out there as well. Siege meanwhile has also retired as well, so C-Drop not opting to do another run. So at the moment then is a battle of the two Sauber drivers then. See who can get pole with at least a minute left. Meanwhile though C3 is out there as well. Don't rule him out, he's in contention. So is Suarez as well. And also Leroy Farmer, one of the reasonable drivers there. And that is Struth, they're going well off right there. And that's not the way to go out of qualifying in the last qualifying session. So Struth then puts himself into the wall. He will not be on pole, but he'll be hoping to maintain P2. He has got C3, Suarez and Leroy also behind him as well to get a lap time. Meanwhile though, Spike set a lap time, but not a good representative of his actual true pace. He is on the flow again. We've got to keep an eye on Spike though. He can be potentially challenging Sinclair there, or even upset the Saubers in all again the 1-2. But Darren there coming round towards the last few corners. Going through underneath the hotel section. Okay, keeping it very good and very poised, under control. Heading towards the last couple of corners now. Session is ended. Sinclair's opted to go into the pits. This is a chance now for the drivers then to see if he can upset the Sauber's day. But at the moment though, there is a yellow flag in sector 2. Whereas Spike at the moment in terms of this, he's come around the last corner. What's this for Spike? It's P3 at the moment for Spike then, so Spike at the moment is in P3. He is on the second row of the grid. Gotta keep an eye on C3 though, see what he can do. He is on the charge at the moment. So you got Leroy on the charge at the moment. Meanwhile though, KFC has upset the Sauber's day of getting a 1-2 with the 134.5 and the Sauber Ultra stuff. So KFC getting himself on pole, and Sean's also got himself up into P3 as well. This is a amazing upset here going on here across the field. Meanwhile though, and C3 there also getting himself up into P3, pushes Sean down into P4. And Leroy going up into P2 now. This is all the laps now coming thick and fast. Now where is Alan? Alan is the last man to go over the line. Coming around the last corner now. But at the moment though, KFC 73 is your man on pole with Leroy in second and Sean in third. My word, what an end to a qualifying session, the last qualifying session of the season. So then, KFC 73 is on pole, joined with Leroy in second place as well. Good job for the newcomers coming in. Sinclair in third with C3 fourth, Sean in fifth, Struth in sixth, Spike in seventh, Suarez in eighth, Sage in ninth, Maximus in 10th, Alan K 11th, Damien B in 12th, and Mays there in P13. And also in that spot in P40 will be Fletcher. And he will have a tough time starting from the back there, especially on the setup he cannot use apart from a default one due to enter qualifying quite late. So getting already up then for the last race of the season. And obviously we don't need to worry about the weather here for Abu Dhabi. No threat of rain, but any time the rain can happen. You know, weird things can happen in Formula 1, and it generally does happen. So then with the drivers then just getting their setup, so any setup changes towards the front wing wise sorted out, along with the strategies as well to go on top. So just waiting now for the drivers then to see what will happen. Hopefully we should be getting all underway here. So then with the formation lap then getting underway here. And we'll just get all the tyre infos and everything up coming up. So everyone in the top 10 they will have to qualify on the tyres. They qualified in qualifying then. So KLC up in P1 with Leroy as well in P2. Both recently joined the league, especially on the last race of the season. Readying up and eyeing up for season 4. Claiming 1 and 2 for different teams. Also, don't rule this man out. Sinclair in P3. He has got pace in him. Obviously, to go for the win. But also keep an eye on people behind Sinclair as well, with the likes of C3, Son and Struth, Spike as well. So keep an eye on them a lot as well, because they can have a factor towards the front. Also got their Suarez there in P8. Keep an eye on him as well, because he's been doing good so far. Siege in P9. Hopefully he'll be like getting himself sorted out and get himself up there. Maybe cause an upset or two. But he is battling with Spike as well for 2nd place. Maximus there in P10. Having a good qualifying. See how he fares out for the race. Hopefully to end the season on the high for him. Anike in P11. Eyeing up for the points to help Ferrari's constructors. Damien B there in P12. He'll be mighty pleased with that result, and hopefully just to get towards the finish and trying to score points, at least for Toro Rosso. And Mays there in P13. He'll be looking for some points for Renault, being the only secondary Renault in the team. And Fletcher then in P14. He's got a lot of work to do today and see if he can get himself into the points at least. So the people outside the top 10, Alan K, Damien B, Mays and Fletcher then have a 3-tire choice. Obviously Alan K, Damien B opted for the Supers, whilst Mays and Fletcher then opted for the Ultra Softs. KLC 73 then just bringing the field round, all under control. Getting everyone towards the line then. And we're getting lights out for the last time for the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. So then, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights for the last time. And it's lights out and away we go. What's the starts like? The starts are looking okay. And everyone there getting through nice and fine so far. Anyone's towards turn 1. That's crucial there. There was a three-way battle there between Force India, the Mercedes and McLaren there, but all gone through here so far. Meanwhile though, there is a battle at the front. Leroy there taking P1. KFC in 2, and obviously the battle I was talking about, and that is C3, they're going round, and he's also collected, looks like Fletcher as well, I believe, or Suarez. Okay, but there's a bit of a noisy pile up there. The same corner as Michael Schumacher had at this 2010, 2011. But again, no one knocked out of the race. Siege they get the 5-second stop go for ignoring yellow flags. Meanwhile though, there is a battle up in the front, that's between KLC and Leroy. KLC then taking over P1 again, but he is under threat by Leroy. And again, going side by side down the secondary part, the back straight. Is going to be tight there. KLC then maintaining position. Leroy then has to settle for P2 for now. Coming into the tricky part of Sector 3. Meanwhile though, there is battle at the back there, and that is Sean. Sean is on the back of Sinclair, in for a move. Meanwhile though, that is Damien B. What has happened to Damien B? He's dropped back a little bit, but still maintaining going. Meanwhile though, turning our attentions towards P3 wise. Coming round the lap after lap 1. All under control so far. Meanwhile though, Mays and Suarez there having a battle there. Mays getting up into P9. Suarez has to settle for P10. So then, KFC comes alone in P1 then, followed by Leroy, followed by Sinclair, followed by Sean, followed by Struth. Meanwhile though, I've got a glitch that's going on. Looks like Fletcher there, there's obviously a desync, so again, not sure where Fletcher is, so that's going to hamper me for the last time for the season, which I don't want. I don't want any glitches, I want to see true actual positions. Meanwhile though, Suarez is in the pits, getting his wing changeover. So then meanwhile though, there is a battle at the back there, and that is between Spike and potentially Fletcher there. So Spike there maintaining gap at the moment on P6 with Fletcher in P7. Spike maintaining P6 for now. Yes, we got to be careful and not to lose any more time. But Leroy there just slowly starting to just drop back a little. He doesn't want to be dropping back too far. He'll be fully into the clutches of Sinclair and also Sean as well. Obviously, taking quite a bit of a train there from P2 down to P7. Only one mistake can cost it, but again, the leaders, KFC 73, not exactly pulling away as he wants to. Maybe a case of pushed on a little bit too early, but again, all under control so far. Meanwhile though, Fletcher there did overtake Spike, so Fletcher up in P6, Spike down into P7. And Spike there going off a bit wide there for the second last corner. Don't want to be doing that too many times. Meanwhile though, KFC 73 sets a 1:39.2 is the fastest lap so far. And the man is currently out of desync. Rises Siege at the moment. He is not in P1 at the moment. Not sure whereabouts he is, but he is definitely not in P1 though. Siege is not. Still though. Meanwhile though, Damien is into the pits. I'm presuming change of strategy or wing damage. Bernini comes in his full wing damage change as well, so. Meanwhile though, lap 3 and DRS is active, and this is a chance now for a train there to start overtaking. So obviously got to be within the second of the car ahead, no matter what lap they're on or what lap you're on. As long as you're within a second of the car ahead in the DRS deactivated zones, you can activate your DRS in the activating zones. So at the moment though, all keeping very stable here so far. All just waiting, plotting their moves and waiting for one mistake. All it takes is one mistake out the top 7 here to cause the driver there to make an error, along with gaining a place. Obviously those on ultra softs will be a bit more advantage at the moment. Bear in mind they with the fuel load be burning your tyres up just a little bit more than normal, and obviously the temperatures will rise just a tad, but also following the car ahead they're going to help you whatsoever. But meanwhile though, Sinclair is starting to close in on Leroy though. He's pulling away from Sean but getting close here to Leroy. Again, keep him very close here, trying to force Leroy into a mistake. KLC keeping it under control. Sinclair going for the inside move around turn 6. Can he make it stick? He has got Leroy on the outside there. And then there's a drag strip down the back straight here, the very long back straight here. But obviously Sinclair will have DRS. Leroy will just have to find something out of the blue, keeping in the slipstream. Can he force a move down the inside or the outside? No, he can't, but he will have DRS for the next part. He was trying to go for the move on Darren. Not ideally going for it. He's trying again around turn 8. Trying to get the perfect exit, but the more they keep battling, this is inviting Sean into the fray. Meanwhile though, Fletcher and Struth are also having a battle as well. Going side by side, heading towards the back straight. Again, Leroy and Sinclair trying to go for a battle. Fletcher though, has he got the move done on Struth? Side by side. Very tight and technical here, but Fletcher there gets through then up into P5. Struth will just have to settle for P6, and Leroy will just have to settle for P3. He is now being chased now by Sean. Sean's the next man to have a go at Leroy. Sinclair will be trying to pull away as much as possible from this battle before he gets drafted back into this. This is helping KRC trying to pull away the gap as much as possible, but now with Darren clear off Leroy, Darren can now just push on and try and catch up to KLC before he has a chance to escape away with the lead and potential victory. But at the moment though, the field are generally behaving themselves, for obviously the exception of the first lap incident, but again, all starting to keep under control now. It's now a question of mental ability. Where can they get their opponent trying to force a mistake or an error? Meanwhile though, Fletcher is joining into the battle here with P4. Fletcher going for the inside move on Sean around turn 6. Has he got it covered? At the moment is a drag straight towards the end. This time though, Sean trying to keep in winning slipstream, but Fletcher got ahead of Sean, although Sean will be eyeing out a move. Sean will be getting a double toe. Can he force a move on Fletcher? Trying to get back. Fletcher now trying to go for the move down on Leroy. And again, side by side through 6, 7 and 8, and they're still going 3 wide here. This is amazing, and they've both got respect there for each other. And Sean there coming out as a victor out of them two. Fletcher's trying to come back on Sean. Leroy's also coming back 3 wide potentially. No, it's not. Fletcher then getting the place back on Sean. Sean and up into P4, or maintaining P4 as he got through. Meanwhile though, Spike is on the back of Struth. Sinclair on the back of KLC as well. KLC then pulling up a gap with Fletcher now in P3. Won't be long for him to join up in this battle as well. So Darren there looking for an eager move there. He is looking for an eager move, and at the moment maintaining the battle as well. All is good so far between the top 4. Hope you guys can hear me still on stream, but obviously I've got my headset flashing for some reason, but still able to pull out a voice. But again, top 2 still going at it at the moment. Fletcher there, obviously. Sinclair there trying to eye up a move for KLC. But at the moment, all is good at the moment. Still though. Battle live at the moment for the lead. Sinclair's going for it. He's going down side by side with KLC. This is going to be very tight. Ooh, coming very close. Trading paintwork, but again, no damages whatsoever. KLC trying to go for a switchback. Keeping it all under control so far. Again, Sinclair there doing what he can to try and defend. He is the back foot on this one because the second DRS zone comes back at you. KLC takes P1 at the moment. Leroy there and Sean battling out. Leroy got the move done this time on Sean, has he? Yes, he has. So Leroy then up into P4. Meanwhile though, Sinclair, this is a 3-way battle now for the lead. Fletcher going for the move. He's going for the move down the inside 15. Involves Darren off right there. Darren had to take to the outside wide. And again they make contact. Oh, and that's Fletcher. Fletcher's out. Fletcher made contact with Sinclair and also out of the race underneath the hotel section. Not what they wanted. And that's about to happen. Oh, and there's Leroy there going for a spin as well. Leroy there going for a spin. Losing out a chunk of time there. Down into P6. Potentially P7, but he gets back ahead or C3. Wow. What an instant pack. Couple of corners there between them 3. Still though, KLC still out of the lead. This time this will promote Sean up into P2. Straight into P3. But again, all keep it under control at the moment. Sinclair is into pits, presuming damage. That is not ideally what he wanted. But there is the other flag in, still remaining in sector 3. What's happened? And that is Suarez. Where is Suarez? Suarez is just not far away from the hotel section. That is not going to help him whatsoever. Maybe lost the back end on the braking. Meanwhile though, Struth now going for an overtake on Sean. Again, Sean keeping it well under control. But Struth will have DRS on Sean. Again, they got to be careful. Spike is in the background watching this as well. But Sean has got the DRS. No, he's not. Lie. There's Struth. Struth's got DRS and he's got the overtake on Sean, has he? Has he got it under control at the moment? Yes, he has at the moment. Again, yellow flags in sector 3. Again, battling with Leroy and C3. Going side by side here. Sean and Struth also having a battle as well. C3 in a Renault sandwich. Not what he wanted. He's got Leroy in front, Maze behind. Maze is watching this unfolding here. C3, he's got to be careful not to make a mistake or get outplaced in here because Maze will have him. Again, coming into the hotel section. Debris still out underneath. That was from Fletcher's car. He won't be happily pleased with that one. Meanwhile, though, Spike is into the pits. No, it's not. It is Struth. Struth is the first one of the front runners to come into the pits then. Meanwhile, though, Suarez has just gone out into the pit lane now. So Struth then going on a set of super softs then, hoping to get into the end. Meanwhile, though, battle for P8 is on under control at the moment. All under control so far at the moment. Spike then in P4. Meanwhile, though, Sinclair has got an overtake going up, over, and he's overtaken Alan Kay. Next man out the road is his teammate. Meanwhile, though, Spike and Sean batting out for P2. And Spike then gets the upper hand on Sean, but Sean's come back on him with the arrest this time because the activation shown is after turn 8. And he's going for the move on Spike, and Spike there keeping it covered off for now. Meanwhile, though, Alan Kate is starting to lose a bit more places. He's been overtaken by Maximus. So Maximus there in P10, Alan Kate in P11 then. Oh, and Alan Kay there. Alan Kay making a mistake. Hits the wall. That's not good there for Alan Kay. Hitting the wall, then losing his front wing there. Maybe just lost it on traction. And now he's got to come and bring that into the pits then. Not where he wanted Alan Kay, but still, I'm sure anything can happen. Meanwhile, though, C3 and Leroy keeping it all under control so far. Struth now is starting to come towards the back of Maze. Although that car behind Maze is a lap car of Suarez then. So Suarez then not having the best of races. Meanwhile, though, C3 still trying to pull in to move on Leroy, but at the moment just has to settle for where he is at the moment. Not gaining much time on him, but keeping it distance. And that is Alan Kay. That is Alan Kay again. No, it's not Alan Kay, sorry. That is Sean. That was Sean. Sean lost on the exit at turn 3. And he was running in P2. That is not good for Sean. He was doing so well in the race. And now he just has to settle into this battle. But luckily again not to get away with any damage. So Spike then promoted up into P2. And obviously now heading into potential three-way battle here. Or big long train battle here. C3 up into P3. So C3 then making a move on Leroy then up into P3, although Leroy is coming back at him. Again, side by side, heading down towards turn 9. Leroy got the move covered? Yes, he has. He has at the moment. C3 looking for the potential of the switchback move, but nothing of it so far. Maze there just in the background watching this all unfold. Also Sean as well, and Sinclair. Still though, C3 there going very daring on the brakes there. Nearly lost it as well, and also gone off wide, but Maze there noticed that happened. He's trying to capitalise on this move, but not at the moment. Obviously, Sinclair will be chasing this battle as well. He has got a back marker in his way though, that is Suarez. So, obviously Suarez there now getting the blue flags, knowing that the faster car's coming behind, off the Sauber boys anyway at least. Sean is into the pits then, as we speak at the moment. Obviously Max was down. Obviously the Random boys now getting very daring, and there's a back marker of Suarez trying to come through the field. Leroy then under pressure from his teammate. Maze is trying to attack his teammate. Maze there still maintains P5 at the moment. Leroy is trying to find a move on Maze, but not at the moment. This is involving the Saubers. It's a Renault versus the Saubers then. Down the back straight then. Saubers are in tow in formation. Maze there losing out due to no DRS, but Leroy there is coming down towards a three-way battle then. Leroy and Struth. Can he keep it clean? They do for now. Leroy still maintaining formation. And obviously Darren there being the lucky winner up into P5 out of this. But it's still not all over. Leroy now coming back on Sinclair, but also Struth as well behind. This is going to be very tight downwards. Turn 11. Struth then trying to hang around the outside. Inside it comes outside again. Leroy then still battling away. This is going to be ending tears. Struth there goes off. Makes the move, but he now goes off wide. But again maintains position. Struth then up into P6. Darren up in P5. Leroy down into 7th with his teammate Maze behind him in P8. And also with the back marker there, or Suarez as well in the mix as well. So all under control at the moment. Meanwhile though, Spike there still in P2. He is starting to chase up towards KLC at the moment. Meanwhile though, C3 being the one on the front runners is also coming in as well, making his potential one and only stop, and he goes on a set off super soft to get him off to the end. So Red Bull boys there doing a good job there so far. And obviously there's a glitch there. While that C3 got well held up there, not it was wanted. But still though, Mays is still on the back of his teammate of Leroy. On the back of the DRS straight, and obviously Suarez there is also there as well. Maximus is not very far away from the Renaults as well. The Renaults have got to be very careful now not to be tripping over themselves. Mays with the DRS, heading down to side by side with Leroy's teammate. Leroy trying not to give up too much, and accepts the fact that Mays has got overtaken, but Leroy will have DRS back on his teammate. The Renaults are racing it out for this time. Potential no team orders, they're going to go all hell for leather for this battle. This is for pride and for team stakes. Leroy going down the inside of Mays and gets the move done this time round. Yes, he does. Although Leroy then back end then wants to come out. Maximus is also joining into this battle as well. So it's now a three-way battle here for P6 at the moment, as it says on the screen. And obviously KLC is the first man into the pits. This will make Spike up into P1. So KLC is into the pits, putting on a set of super softs then. So Spike then is your current race leader then. Great pit stop there for the Red Bull boys so far then. Sinclair and Struth are also up in there as well. Obviously Sinclair and Struth have made a pit stop while Spike hasn't, so Spike will just have to be very careful on how long he can play out this strategy for. He will be on the quicker tire though towards the end. Meanwhile though, there's the yellow flag, and that's Leroy. Where has Leroy lost his car? Do not tell me it's turn 3. Looks like potentially it could be turn 3. There is the yellow flags. Leroy has lost it somewhere in turn 3. Where is it? He's lost it! He's lost it into the wall! That is Leroy out of the race then. He was on a good charge there. Don't even made any contact there with his teammate. But at the moment though, Leroy then is the next person unfortunately to be literally time for the race. Meanwhile though, that is not Siege there having a completely bumper car situation. That is him being desynced from everyone else. So KLC then is on the charge. He has got Maximus behind him as well. Although Maximus there, his tires will be starting to feel a little bit worse for wear now, being to Hypersofts. While Siege there gets a 5-second stop, go for naughty corner cut in there, naughty Siege. Should they better been a world champion? But still though, the field now just starting to calm down a little bit. Now the pit stops are coming into the fray, so obviously with Siege completely being out of position due to a desync, it is hard to track exactly where he is. But at the moment though, Spike is your race leader with Darren Sinclair being hot on his heels, chasing him down, with Struth in 3rd, with KLC in P4, Maximus in 5th, with desynced of Siege there in P6, Sean in P7, C3 in P8, Mays in P9, and in KP10, Damon B in P11, and Suarez been a lap down in P12 then. So that is your field at the moment. Only 2 retirements, Fletcher and Leroy. Fletcher having a battle there with Darren Sinclair. Made contact and unfortunately hit into the wall, whilst Leroy lost it on turn 3 on the exit, which unfortunately hampered his race completely. Meanwhile though, the battle for the P1 at the moment, although Spike will yet have to pit again. Don't know how much longer he can hang out on those supers, but so far doing a good job as much as he can. Spike wise, we'll probably just be thinking of getting towards the end at least. Still though, there is a change of position. That is Sean there getting himself up to P6. So the battle for the lead then is underway. Spike and Sinclair, McLaren and Selber. KLC, they were the fastest lap time, 1:37.6 then so far. Good lap time there on the set of Superstars then, so KLC is on the charge and trying to see he can get a gap and a win on this. Meanwhile, though, Sinclair is doing a good job so far, though. But I've got a feeling, though, he'll be opting to come in and pit again at least. Still, though, keeping it all under control as we speak. Spike there going defensive. Sinclair there with DRS, trying to get the slipstream toe. If he doesn't make the overtake on Spike, he can do it on the next section. And I think Darren's probably realised that. Darren now taking a wide line, trying to get the switch back going. Spike there, back end then wants to try and escape, but again, getting a good decent traction, trying to pull away from Darren, not to let him get grass off an overtake. Darren over DRS, trying to close down again on the back of Spike, but at the moment just has to settle for now in P2. Meanwhile though, Struth and KLC there, KLC is also chasing in on Struth as well, so the one side attacking, one side defending. And Maze, meanwhile, I think Maze has just left the session. So, problems ever with Maze and connection-wise. I hope we can get back soon. Meanwhile, though, Spike makes a mistake. And Sinclair's trying to go for an overtake. And they made contact there, but again, keeping it all under control so far. Luckily there, not to lose it in the hotel section there. So, Darren there getting the overtake done. And Spike there, meanwhile, getting 3 second penalty. I think Spike now just realised that tyres are going off a bit. And off into the pits he goes. Meanwhile, though, Struth and KLC then battling out for P2 and P3. So far looking so good for right. Meanwhile, like, as I got myself back onto headset control, as my headset decided to die there, lovely stuff. So, at the moment then, we have got Struth there in P4, battling out for KLC, keeping it well under control so far. There we'll just have to hang on and wait for an overtake on KLC, and I'm going to quickly check my settings just quickly. I'm sorry for apologising on the stream, just making sure I'm live on mic still, which I am. Happy days. I'm sorry about that interruption there, guys. Obviously the headset died on the wireless side. I had to make sure that the wire is actually working to its potential now. So plugged that wild. So still everything's still ongoing and still doing well so far. Only 2 retirements. Siege into the pits, and also Sinclair is into the pits again. This time it will be for... Has he just gone on the Hypers? Has Sinclair just gone on Hypers, or another set of Ultras? That is another set of Ultras. There is the other flags in Sector 3. I'm trying to figure out who is literally gone down the field in terms of position wise. Is it Suarez has made a mistake? No, he hasn't. I do not know who's made a mistake. And obviously the other flag's gone away, but Maximus Day meanwhile has been in the pits. And out he goes then. Hopefully potentially get in front of Mace. Meanwhile though, Struth meanwhile up into P2. Sinclair on a charge to try and chase his teammate at least. Again, keeping it well under control so far. C3 though, chasing down on the back of Spike. Spike only recently made a pit stop and is on the fresh set of Ultras. So Spike will be looking to get to the end of the race, obviously with light fuel load. Will benefit more in time performance and also for attacking wise. And also quicker. But Spike is also trying to chase down to Sean, whilst C3 trying to chase down Spike, but C3 be on a slower tyre, and obviously a few laps into wearing them. It's not going to benefit him yet so far. So then, as the field then just slowly comes under control, although Spike is now starting to close in on Sean, making inroads on him. Just 4 attempts separate them two. Spike's pretty much proved that with a 1:37.2 as the fastest lap time so far then. Come round turn 1. Sean looking a bit tentative in that Ferrari. Seeing the McLaren right behind him. Spike there getting the perfect line as he wants as well. Sean being very tentative again for turn 3. He knows he's made a mistake there once already. Spike getting well underneath the diffuser of that Ferrari. But probably eyeing up a move now. He will have DRS to help him on this straight at least. And that is Maze there retiring from the session then. So Maze is the next person then to retire. Meanwhile though, Sean is under pressure from Spike. Spike's got DRS and he's got the move done. Yes he has, although Sean's looking for a move to overtake on Spike. But yes, just have to hang on for now. Sean will now have DRS control coming up this section now. Meanwhile there is a yellow flag in sector 1. But again, happily disappears, although Sean just a little bit too back to attack Spike. Obviously Spike there with a new set of tyres there, giving him the advantage there in that move. So Spike then up into P4. His next car up ahead will be Sinclair. Again, them two have recently made a pit stop, so Spike will just have to put the hammer down a little bit if he has any chance of getting on the podium at least. So then with the field then under control, then we've got KLC 73 in P1, Struth in P2, Sinclair in P3, Spike in P4, along with Sean there in P5, you can see, and C3 there as well in that shot. Siege currently in P7 as it stands at the moment. Maximus there in P8, Anike in P9, and Damien B in P10, and with Suarez there being in P11 at the moment. So obviously 3 retirements then, Maze, Leroy and Fletcher then are your 3 current retirements. Lap 18 then. And at the moment KLC 73 doing a job so far. Obviously next car up the road is behind him is next 2 Saubers. Obviously potentially looking for a move, but at the moment everyone's just calming down for the last few laps, so I think they're just probably just starting and setting up ready for the next last stint, and this is where the concentration starts to come into a factor here as the laps go by, especially on a track like Abu Dhabi where it's some bits technical and some of the corners you got to think very carefully. But this is where the mistakes will start to fall into play. So the driver behind will be watching themselves and thinking, where can I place the move and where we'll go for overtake. But at the same time not to get caught up in any mistakes that the car ahead is planning to do or unexpectedly done. But C3 though, keeping in reasonable distance there with Sean, getting very close to him. Meanwhile though, Struth is into the pits. This promotes his teammate then to go up into P2. Obviously there is a yellow flag in sector 2. Where is that yellow flag? And it's disappeared somewhere. So meanwhile though, question is, Struth will be coming out behind these 2 at the moment. Question is, where is Maximus in the fray of this at the moment? Maximus is too far behind, so Struth then, he's got a lot of work to do. He's got about 10 laps to do. He's behind these 2 that are squabbling at the moment, which will get on the shot. C3 then closed in on Sean. Sean's starting to feel a little bit under pressure there. Obviously they both got the same terms of laps in their wares, but obviously Sean there being the beneficial there. Unfortunately, because he's only got like 9 laps while C3 has 8. Although more the squabble, Struth will be getting up his tyres up to temp and pressures. Meanwhile though, C3 looking for a move, but not going for it. More these 2 battling, Struth will be involved in this. Although Struth doesn't want to get a hold up in these 2 if he has any chance of getting up towards the top. Sean then under pressure now from C3. C3 then looking for a move, going down the outside, the bank wheels, but make contact, but again, Sean there gets through there on C3. Although, maybe Sean probably thinking maybe giving up the position, maybe. But at the moment, Sean maintains P4. C3 won't be happy with that for sure. And definitely not now. He's under pressure now by Struth, who's caught up to this pair squabbling. Come through the hotel section. C3 then trying to defend now from Struth. Struth looking for a move. surely not around the outside. He's going for it. Can he make stick? He's got off track for it though. Streif's got off track and he's got the move up into P5. So C3 there picking up penalty then to avoid collision. But C3 there losing out to 2 positions and Sean up to P5, Streif up to 6, C3 down in 7th then. So at the moment though, C3 will just have to get himself going, keeping his head down, see if he can get up to Sean again. Streif meanwhile though is now on the back of Sean this time. Again, Sean there not getting the traction he wants. Obviously not good tyre practices at the moment. Streif with DRS going for the move on Sean. Can he make it stick towards the end? Yes he has. Streif there got the move covered, but can Sean launch out the inside though? Not at the moment. So Sean then down into P5. Streif now up into P4. He's only literally 7.8 seconds behind Spike. Again though, Sean though with DRS though, can he make the move on Streif? Not at the moment. Although C3 though has now caught back up again with Sean though. So although Sean is using Streif's slipstream to try and pull away from C3. But at the moment just keeping all under control. Lap 21, potentially lap 22. Still though, all is under control as we speak. So, good little action then so far across the field. Main battle looking at the moment is the battle for P6 then between Sean and C3. Streif there pulling away off. Watch a battle there for P5. Streif there pulling away, trying to catch up to the top 3 as much as he can. It's doable, but you gotta be constantly good lap times, constantly hitting every lap quicker than the last. C3 though definitely now eyeing up a move on Sean. This time reasonably close and we'll have DRS to help him. Sean will be very vulnerable down the straight. He'll be trying to put everything as much as he can to try and break away from C3. C3 now going for a move down the inside. Can he make it stick? Cutting the inside there, but he does make it stick there. So C3 then up on the move on Sean, although Sean can come back on him now. Second DRS zone. Can Sean benefit and get the payback he wants? Not at the moment, so Sean then just has to keep behind C3 just a little bit longer. Meanwhile though, Alan is into the pits. He's bolted on the hypersofts. He's trying to go for the fastest lap as possible. We shall see. We keep an eye on Alan's performance wise and whilst that's all going on. Sean though be looking up for a move on C3. Just waiting for C3 to make a mistake. But at the moment though, C3 just keeping himself under control. So Sean again starting to lose a bit of time. I'm thinking maybe his tyres are just starting to give up just a little bit, losing performance. Obviously in terms of pit stops wise, some of them have opted for a 2 stopping and some have opted for 1 stop. So at the moment it looks like the 2 stop is a better strategy, but those that are on the 1 stop are trying to make it work as much as possible, trying not to lose too much time. But obviously with everyone there who's making a 2 stop strategy, it's going to be very very close here. See on the timing wise. Obviously Sinclair they're trying to put in the lap times as much as he can to try and chase up towards the front runners. Meanwhile though, there is a yellow flag in sector 1 and sector 2, but again that disappears very nicely there, which is ideal. Surprisingly we have no virtual safety cars or a safety car yet, so far so good. Despite the amount of retirements, I was expecting a safety car at least with Fletcher's one, but not at the moment. All under control. Slowly, Sean now starting to drop away from C3. Probably realising that his tyres are dropping off, but still within good points there for the Ferrari driver, so he'll be happy though to pick up good points there for today, at least helping up the Ferraris. Meanwhile though, Sinclair has been pumping in the times. He is closing in, just under 5 seconds separating KLC and Sinclair. It is going to be very tight if Sinclair can keep the lap times up, but again, easier said than done. And there is the Ferrari of Allen in front there, being the next man there to be lapped. Meanwhile though, Struth is starting to close in on Spike then. He is not far away, only 4 seconds. Struth though on 4 laps younger, fresher tyres than Spike. But again, the question is of how can you make them tyres work and benefit you, especially on a track like Abu Dhabi, where you got very fast and fast corners, which generate wear, especially in this section of sector 3 where it's medium to slow corners. Very quick change in directions, not going to benefit tyre temps so much. It's going to make them rise up a bit and lose more grip. Now I can see the back of that McLaren starting to get a little bit closer into his favour, but again, there's a question of where you can, if you can get close to the car in front, can you overtake? Struth meanwhile picks up 3-second time penalty, not what he wants in his favour. Obviously, this is like the closest battle on track at the moment though. Struth putting in a good performance. In fact, everyone across the field is putting in a good performance, especially being the last race of the season. Meanwhile though, Sinclair now is still closing in to KLC, and this will potentially be the battle for the lead if they can get close enough. Again, Darren's starting to run out a bit of time. He knows he's running out of time. He's got pumping the lap times very quickly, trying to eke out his tyres as well with it. Gap is just down to 3 seconds. Literally 3 seconds separating Sinclair and KLC. 3 seconds are separating between potential victory. Again, the gap's now 2.8. Meanwhile, there is the yellow flag in sector 3 again, but that disappears nicely. Like any safety car out now, this will bunch up the field very nicely though for those who make a 2-stop. Meanwhile though, Struth is into the pits. Oh, and that was Struth. That was Struth that's across the yellow flag, and he was doing well there. Maybe he's lost it within sector 3. Collected the wall somewhere, but completely lost his front wing there, so Struth there. Not what he wanted, but he has gone for the hypersofts though. And obviously a good chance there for several points there, just a little bit dented a little bit. Meanwhile though, Sinclair is starting to wheel in KLC. Although I do not know if Siege is actually in P2 or not, I did not exactly classify, but the game is saying otherwise. Maybe it's just a case of desync. But according to the gap window, Siege is quite a bit behind this lot, so it's a case of a desync lobby on that one. Meanwhile though, Sinclair there gets through the desynced Siege there. Only 2 seconds now, but separating the front two. It is going to be going down to the wire. Abu Dhabi here is going to clinch victory. He is going to be the king of the desert. 1.8 is the gap at the moment. Meanwhile though, Damien B has retired, where I think Damien maybe just retired it into the pits. Maybe we will find out though, as Suarez is nearby. Yeah, it looks like it's into the pit lane then, so Damien B then retired his car then, and we're down to 10 runners then. So obviously everyone is guaranteed a point if they can finish out on track. Meanwhile though, Sean has opted to come to the pits this time. Question is, where is Struth? Struth's down the main straight. Sean's going to lose out big time here. Sean should have pitted at least a few laps ago at least, but it has to settle for now. Meanwhile though, battle for the front is starting to hot up a little bit more. 1.5 seconds away is Sinclair and KLC. Darren there literally getting a little bit backhand nappy on the exit there, but gets away with it. Sinclair there hitting the lap times he wants perfectly after lap after lap after lap. Although his tyres will be starting just to feel a little bit of pain now as he's starting to come into the bit of the major wearing stage. But again, Sinclair though keeping it breezily under control. Down within a second. It is lap 27 or 28. It is starting to hot up now for the race victory. Red Bull versus Sauber. Two very quick drivers here today. And they're definitely going to put on a masterclass of performance here of who will claim the top spot for the finale of season 3. Sinclair they're getting right up to the back of KLC here. KLC knows that he is on a slower compound tyre here. Darren they're getting the advantage. Not just in the laps of wearing them, but at the same time it's a case of tyre compound differences between the two. Struth meanwhile though goes the fastest lap time there for the day. Bars that is all going on. Sinclair though getting very close here to KLC. Is he going for the move? This is for the race victory. Not at the moment, he's trying to go around the outside, but KLC hangs on for now. Line a bit compromised, Darren's seen it, he's going for it, they make contact here, side by side here. KLC there goes off wide, and Darren there takes P1 off KLC. So Darren there up into P1 then. Can KLC respond very quickly? He's only got 1 lap to do it. But at the moment, doesn't look it at the moment. Darren knows he's got the race victory in his hands, maybe. Again, depending on penalties for between them two at least. And Darren there now stretching the legs and trying to correct the gap as he wants as he can. KLC on 15 laps old super softs come down to lap 28 of the season 3 TTFL. Can KLC respond, or is Darren going to make a mistake? We don't want to jinx it for the commentators anyway. Well, I should say myself, but Darren there will be trying to pull away much as he possibly can here. And obviously, you can hear fireworks creating up, maybe just warming up, ready for the celebration for Darren then when he comes over the line. At the moment, no real close battles here so far. So then, KLC is probably accepting defeat. Getting himself on pole. Almost leading away, potential victory. Getting caught up with Darren there coming through very quickly. On course for P1, but he just has to settle for P2. Meanwhile though, Darren though, having a good decent qualifying. Kept him into himself, minding his own business, knowing where his battles were, and trying to go for the victory. But Darren Sinclair though, comes over the line for the last time, and takes P1 off Abu Dhabi for the last round of season 3 of the TTFL League. KLC then will just have to take P2. Despite then, great performance by him. making a one stop, and he's made their work. And comes over the line then and takes P3 effectively. Obviously Siege there says he's P3, but Spike then down into P4. Then C3 then will be the next man over the line, picking up a penalty for the last time as well. Comes over the line in P5. Meanwhile though, where is Struth? Can Struth potentially jump C3 in penalties wise? Find out when he comes over the line. Anarchy comes over the line. Struth does. Struth goes up into P5. C3 down to P6 due to penalties. Sean though picks up P6 because of C3's amount of penalties, so C3 down is P7. Maximus there is the last man then on the leading lap to come around to complete the lap time. Obviously Anarchy in P9 and Suarez in P10, both at least a lap or two down. But your really winner though today for round 21 of season 3 TTFL is Darren Sinclair, and he'll be mighty pleased with that result for Sauber. So congratulations there to Darren, taking P1. So then your top 3 then, Siege, KLC and Darren, although I'm still questioning if Siege was actually there or not. That is debatable in my books, but with a desync there. But got any, what it says on game is in P3. I shall find out with full results then, or the unofficial results. So then the officials of the unofficial, the official results then. So Sinclair then in P1, then with KLC in P2, Siege in P3, Spike in P4, Struth in P5, Sean in P6, C3 P7, Maximus P8, Anike P9, and Suarez there in P10. Then Damien B, Mays, Leroy, and Fletcher there are your 4 only retirements off tonight then. So who can I give my driver of the day to? Well, I'd say Siege if he was actually finishing P3, but again, that's debatable. So, before I give it to Spike there, obviously doing much as he can, making a one-stop work, and keeping consistent there, and picking out his right battles. But then again, feel free to put in the comments though of your driver of the day. So then, he'll be interview time with the drivers. They'll be like happy and relieved to finish season 3 on a high. Let's see who of interviews once the messages coming up in my way. So who can I get in? Let's have a look. So then just waiting for the drivers then just to get themselves sorted out and potentially get themselves ready for the interview. And here we go, we got a first person into the lobby, then that will be C3. C3, how are you?
Yeah, you know.
Well, you had a really good qualifying there, putting yourselves up right up the front on the grid there with great qualifying lap. And then obviously throughout the race, you're looking good.
It might have looked great since I was in, I don't know, 4th, but it wasn't a great lap. It was mistakes everywhere, and Yeah, I wasn't happy with that at all. But
Perfect.
well, as long as I get a decent starting position, then it doesn't really matter if it was great or not, I guess.
End of the day, the position is a position, especially if you're at the front, away for the any carnage. But still, though, got yourself into P4 in the qualifying, and then obviously in the race you're looking like very good, very strong there. Obviously battling up with the obviously from the top seven, especially at the start where there's like a train.
Yeah, well, I mean, I feel like I would have been able to end on that podium, to be honest. My pace was good, but like where after that corner, is it the fourth corner? I guess it is. I then like it was either to go for two stop or to stay out with a yellow front wing, like full yellow. So I decided to stay out, but I was struggling a lot with understeer and keeping the pace up. So like I got a lot of penalties because of that too,
Uh,
and so I decided to pit early for the supers, and that really hit me in the in the back in the last few laps because my tires were absolutely dead. Like they were just dead. So I was then getting more penalties on the last few laps because I was sliding around and just going wide. Yeah, not the best race, but could have been
yeah,
worse.
it could have been indeed a very lot worse. But still, though, you still managed to plod on though. Got some points in for Red Bull, despite obviously after the penalties. Um, so obviously with like the end of the season, obviously joined back into full time wise near towards the second half of the season. How do you think that still went for you overall?
No, one more time, the last sentence there.
Was it want me to repeat that again?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously joined in back into full time racing then, coming towards the in the second half of the race of the season. How do you think you got on over general?
I don't know.
Oh no, that's not exactly the answer I want, but we can take that. But
You got to take it.
indeed. So obviously now like the season's ended, and before the start of season four, we still got a chance to
Mm.
get at least something out of the next week's race, which is the Challenge Cup. Looking forward to that one.
Well, I don't know what it is yet,
I
so
do.
kind of hard to say.
I do.
Like it depends on like what kind of race we're doing and like what tracks. Like I guess most who's watched my races, they know that like my pace can be really good at one track, but it can be like absolutely horrendous on another track. So I can't say really. I don't know.
Wow. I know you what you would do. You probably stick around a minute, listen to what the track is. We're not announced out in a minute.
Oh yeah.
um, but yeah, no. So looking forward to season four. Then, any expectations for season four?
I don't know. I'm kind of struggling with deciding if I should go no assist or not. So the expectation
Oh,
will vary after like if I do that or not.
I'm gonna egg you on and say do it with no assist. Come
If I
on,
do
come
no assist,
on.
only expectations then would like be to sort out the pace to be where I am now during the season at some point.
There it is.
Like
There it
just
is.
managing to do ABS and no racing line. No. Well, ABS I'm not too concerned about. It's the racing line I know will be a problem.
Okay, let's be just
Yeah,
let's maybe that
if I
out there.
don't do that, I don't want to sound too confident, but like I would like to compete for like the top part of the championship. Not quite for the championship, but like top five.
We'll see what we can do. See what you can do. You know you can do it.
Definitely.
Everyone out there watching this at the moment, put in the comments below. C3 no assist. Hashtag no assist. But it's totally up to you though. You want to run any assists there, C3 though. It's totally up to you. I'm not hugging you. It's up to you how you feel. So aim for top 5 then for
Uh,
season 4.
Top five or starting my pace if I had to go no assist.
Let's see how we get on then, C3. Let's see how we get on.
So
Well, thank you for
one
joining
of
us.
those. Haven't decided.
Yeah, come on. You can do it.
I can do it, but matter the question if I can do it well.
We'll find out if you do it. Well, thank you for joining us anyway, C3. And hopefully we'll
Thank
see
you
you.
for having me.
You're very welcome. Hope you can see us in next week's little surprise, which will be announced in a minute. And hopefully also for season 4.
Oh yes.
No worries. Just give me 2 seconds, Spike. We'll start you off on your interview in a second. Just got to quickly add another person there who's also screaming for an invite as well.
Do Maximus first, mate. I'm sorting a couple of things.
Okie dokie, no worries. Just 2 seconds, Maximus. Okie dokie then. So, next person then will be Maximus. Maximus, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Oh, not too
Been a
bad,
long
buddy.
time.
Oh no, it's been a long time no see.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been having like obviously throughout bits and pieces of the season, ups and downs in terms of form, but you managed to put off a good one tonight, especially on the last race to end out on a high, even getting some points.
Yeah, I did have a bit of a, you know, wonky session in the middle. That's because I switched my controller with a steering wheel. That's why I have a bit of a learning curve to it. So
Fair play to you, fair play to you. Taking up from the pad to wheel. Obviously, it take a little while to adjust to, but once you get going, be reasonable. You'd have been
yeah, I mean, I have at least like 2 weeks to practice on it. So hopefully next season it's better than this one.
we'll see what will happen for you. So obviously going through your qualifying then, obviously yeah, did a really good qualifying session. I'm presuming you're just probably playing it safe, just get good decent lap time in there and get up a decent part of the field.
Yeah, my aim was today to just finish the race. I mean, it was the last race of the season, so just get a few points and not push the car too hard on the corners, and just keep the control. And it all worked out for me.
Indeed, and obviously like in the race, obviously standing through the midfield, obviously a bit of a tight action pack into turn 1. I'm presuming you got
Yeah,
just a way out the accident zone.
yeah. It was. I didn't see the accident before, but it was a tough decision to go. I was a bit afraid that Alan might hit me from the back, but hats off to him. He did manage to avoid that incident and avoid me as well.
Indeed, and obviously, you've been having like good battles up throughout the field, throughout the race, and in the end to come over and got some points there. Obviously
Yeah,
after Rocky season, well, Rocky's second bit of the season.
yeah, it was.
So, how do you think the whole entire season of season 3 went for you in the general? How can you describe it?
Uh, in general, I would say bad, honestly. Because as compared to the season of the F2, I'm doing a lot better on that season in the F2 because I'm around 8th in the standings along with Ellen. So that season is going great for me. But this season was a bit, ups and downs. I lost a lot of races. Did not finish those races because of the car setup, and then obviously coming to the new steering wheel. So I would say that not bad. Overall, it was a bad experience this season for me.
Still though, you'll see use it as a learning curve, and
Yeah,
where
it is.
and obviously going into season 4. But before we go into season 4, for your predictions you want to go for, we also got another race for next week as well, which will be track location, which will be revealed in a minute. Um, but obviously this stint, the Challenge Cup. Looking forward to that one.
Yeah, I am. I mean, it will give a bit of a, different taste to try out different cars. Because in these cars, in this season we are just driving, modern cars. So it will be a good thing to, change cars and go for some classic cars and get a feel for that as well.
Wow, we'll see what we got installed in for the Challenge Cup, and then just one more would be season 4. Where would you expect for any
Uh,
expectations for season 4?
my expectations are to be in the top 10 in driver standings.
Good job, good job. Any preference in the top 10 or just in top 10 in general?
Around, you could say, seventh or eighth, around here.
Fair it is,
Because I
Maximus.
know that other drivers are, a lot better than me, so that's my aim for for the next season. So
Well, fingers crossed for you. We hope it all goes off well for you for season 4, Maximus. Because I know you're a quick,
thank you,
decent driver, and I know you can potential get some good points as well. So fingers crossed for season 4 for you. We wish you
yeah,
luck.
thank you, man.
You're very welcome, and thank you for joining us. And hopefully see you next week for the
Yeah,
Challenge
sure,
Cup.
sure. See you next week.
See you next week. Take care, Maximus.
Take care.
And you. So, Spike, you're back, or?
That's mine.
Yep, no worries. We're going for you next then. So then, Spike, how are you?
That's mine. I'm still busy.
Are
Be
you
back in a
still
second.
busy? Okay, no worries. As a Spike's still busy, we go for the next person in, which will be Suarez. Suarez, how are you?
Fine. Well, a bit disappointed, to be honest.
That was exactly the last race this season you want to go for, and obviously qualifying wasn't too bad for you through qualifying. So talk us through that before we talk through the race for you.
Well, in qualifying, um, I just got my lap invalidated, but I was there to be in P3, with Lee or Seafrixer. Um, but then in the race in lap 1, after a decent start, there was a car spun, and I just was so unlucky to hit that car. And after that, tried to do a comeback, but after beating and trying and being in front of Damian, who was in the Torosso, I just spun in myself and got to beat again and got lapped. And after that, it was just impossible to come back, but I stayed racing just to see if there was a safety car or something, but it didn't come out. But at the end, 1 point. So well,
Still, at least you keep yourself in it. Predicting for a safety car. Especially obviously before retirements, probably have to out to a treat. Even though it's just a point, it is something just to help you out through. Especially to end on the season. At least you got a point to end on a high on that note.
well, yeah. About the safety car is just unlucky, for retirements and um, not being not having a safety car, and then about the points. well, after finishing the last two races in fifth position and then finishing 10th, yeah, it's a big change. So,
Indeed. Obviously, like you joined within like the second part of the season. How do you rate the point from when you joined in for season 3 to pretty much up to now? How do you rate your part of the season?
well, at the end, I've only been here for 3 races, So I was surprised at the beginning because I saw that I was better, like I was um, racing better than what I expected, and finishing fifth was a surprise, and in 2 races. So I think it's been 3 good races, although this race, although my pace was really good, I couldn't show it. But yeah, I would give myself an 8. You know.
So obviously, joining in pretty much like getting yourself into the points. To be honest, so like 100% point streak um on that one. So congratulations on for that accolade. So obviously next week is the Challenge Cup. You looking forward to that one for next week? Obviously, as a post race end of season race.
Well, honestly, I haven't informed myself about that. Uh, so whatever it is, obviously I am looking forward because in the end, it's good to show your pace, and show your level to other drivers. So obviously, yeah, um, whatever it is, the event, I'm looking forward.
Good man. And my last question then, season 4. Any expectations for season 4? Obviously, if you're doing a full season this time round compared to your last 3 one to as you for season 3. So where would you expect yourself for season 4?
Well, I don't know. I think there are 4 or 5 drivers that that can be fighting for winning the championship. But then there is gonna be a great fight in the mid-table, like from 6 downwards, and I think there's where I belong. Although obviously while the races goes on, I think I'm going to get better and better, and at the end, I hope that I can be fighting for something else. It's obviously difficult, but because there are drivers that have a really good level, but you know, you never know how much you can improve or that. So, yeah, I hope for a good season.
Fingers crossed then for you, Suarez. If obviously give you a prediction of a finishing position, obviously like looking for a good decent spot in the drivers championship. Where do you think yourself realistically? Where you think you're going to be out of any position?
Oof, it's difficult, but if I had to position myself as in my last 3 races, I could say 7th or 8th in the table. So yeah,
Same within the top 10, but in the latter part of the top 10.
yeah.
Fair play to you, Suarez. And also, I believe you just obviously recently joined the TTG Esports League, so congratulations on joining that.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and also thank you for joining us in the box as well. Fingers crossed. See you next week for the Challenge Cup, and hopefully fingers crossed for the season 4.
Okay, thank you, mate.
You're welcome. Take care.
Thanks.
And last and not least will be Spike. You're free now again, Spike.
Yes, mate. Finally free.
Good man, good man. So then, you're qualifying then. Obviously, leaving it too quite late to set lap time. Obviously opted to go out on a set of super softs. Look, obviously first lap run on the supers went wasn't ideal. It was looking good until he locked it up after the first straight, but he seemed to improve it, almost nabbing pole.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the tyres weren't. I guess they weren't quite there or whatever. But yeah, I just locked up into the corner, and at that point I was like, okay, well, lap's over. The next lap, it was going great. I was 2 tenths up on. Who was the other super soft? Was it Darren? I think Sinclair was on pole at the time on supers.
Darren.
I was 2 tenths up, and then I completely and utterly messed up the final sector. Literally lost like nearly 7 tenths, I think, which is crazy. So I was rather angry with myself about that. But never mind, because I think that was the difference from P7 to P. I think I would have been P3 or something. Yeah, never mind though.
Still though, he had a good decent race as well. Obviously, like the battle of the train as well from P1 down to P7. You know, all managed to get through cleanly in that top 7.
Yeah, it was enjoyable but disappointing because I broke my front wing lap 5. Obviously, the ultra soft runners were struggling by this point, and I braked to my usual position for the corner, and I think it was Struth in front of me. Was carrying, I don't know, at least 15 kilometers less than usual, and it's my fault because I ran in the back of him. But obviously, I wasn't expecting to be quite that slow. Yeah, ran in the back of him, broke my front wing, so I was running with a damaged front wing for the rest of the super soft stint. So that kind of screwed me over really. Unfortunately, still P4. I mean, not bad, but yeah, I definitely could have been fighting for the win. Definitely. I mean, the fact that Darren re-overtook me before the end of my super soft stint, you know, I didn't even realise he'd done a 2-stop at that point. Actually, I didn't realise he was on fresh ultras. But yeah, I was literally, yeah, I had no front end at all.
Still though, you still managed to nurse the car home though, and got through into P4. Obviously with Siege's position being all over the place, I couldn't exactly track it. I'm presuming he was in P3, but I could be wrong.
Yeah, me and Siege had a good battle through most of the race. I was holding him up like crazy, really, to be honest, in the first stint. Yeah, I kind of feel a bit sorry for him, in a way. I wasn't going to let him through, because if I had done, I would have obviously lost a lot of time. All the time I had DRS, it wasn't so bad, but as soon as I lost DRS, I had no pace whatsoever with the front wing. And eventually, the lap I pitted a lap earlier as well, because it was 2 laps or 1 lap earlier, one or the other, just to try and get the front wing back. And obviously, you know, the longer pit stop, and then I absolutely pushed like crazy on the ultras for the first 2-3 laps to try and catch up some of the time, and that took the best of them. So I didn't have a lot left towards the end with Siege. So he got me. Annoyingly.
Not what you wanted, but still, like, at least you still carry on finishing off the race and obviously getting the point zone for McLaren. So, I'll see you with
yeah, it's you got 2 choices, haven't you? Either carry on with it or you give up. And I was like, nah, it's the last race of the season. So I mean, I didn't even think I was going to be here tonight. So it was a bonus to be racing, and it had an end of season feel to it. Some pretty crazy driving going on. I mean, first lap, Z3 got tapped by Struth, I think it was, into the chicane, lap 1. So he spun out, and I think that's what did for Suarez, because he was right behind me, I think. And I managed to go to the right and miss it. I think he ran into Z3, who was obviously sideways at that point. Yeah, the thing with Struth, and then Siege missed his braking point into the same corner, and we just about managed to avoid each other. It was pretty crazy. And then Darren put a nice manoeuvre around the outside of me. That was the lap I was coming into the pits, but I had no front tyres at all by that point, and I was literally turning as hard as I could, and I was out of the throttle as well. I was like, I can't turn any harder, and we made small contact. Luckily, he managed to hold the slide, so we didn't crash. So it was pretty crazy. It was good, like I said, good fun. Disappointed because I could have definitely been fighting for the win. I would have also, been holding on towards the end, but yeah, still good race.
Still, you had a good race then. Came home in P4. So the season 3 then. As a recap then, how would you rate season 3 of this season?
I don't remember most of it. I think I missed quite a bit of it, didn't I? I had a good start, I think. I've run a few races. Pace has been Pace has been alright. It was pretty good tonight, really. I hate Abu Dhabi. It's an awful track, frankly, but it's one of those things, and I was quite pleasantly surprised with the general pace, especially on the ultras. I think I had the fastest lap out of. I think my fastest lap was quicker than Darren's, and he had fresh ultras at the end, so that was pretty good.
Yeah, I think Struve probably took that off you, Spike.
Yes, he took it off me, because he did. I think he did 3 stops, didn't he, or something? Somebody had hypers on at the end. I think 2 or 3 people had hypers at the end for low 36s. But back to the season. Yeah, it's been alright. Well, the races I've been in has been good fun, and yeah, that's it really.
Also, a couple more questions in before we let you go. Challenge Cup next week. Looking forward to that one. Are we able to make it, or giving it a miss?
I have no idea. I don't even know what cars. Do you even know what the cars are? I don't know.
I don't know the cars, but I know what track it is, and I'm telling you all afterwards.
Oh right, you're not allowed to tell me. You're not allowed to give me the scoop then. If I'm about, then I would think so. But if it's more than likely, I won't be. Like I said, tonight was a lucky bonus. It was supposed to be out, but something came up, so I didn't go out yet.
And last question then. Obviously, you've been the world champion, also with Siege. Season 4, duel between you two to the end.
It's going to be more of the same, I'm afraid, for Fridays. I would like to commit to more, but I'm nearly always busy. So I've spoken with the powers that be, and I think I'm going to be a reserve next season. Because I'm taking a car, and I think I only attended about half the races, so that's not really fair. If somebody else wants to come in, then I'm quite happy to step back and just fit in when I can.
Fair it is, Spike. Again, thank you for joining us. Hopefully, you should see you around in season 4. Hopefully, see if you go for a title, if you can make it in the races, and obviously due to outside commitments, if you're not there, we all understand that.
Yeah, race wins obviously in that case. That's what I'll be aiming for. Depending on the tracks, of course, I'm not that good at some of them, or most of them, to be fair.
Still, we'll see what happens, mate. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome, mate. Good job on the commentary all season, mate.
Thank you very much. Thank you. So then, with all the interviews then all lined up and completed them, going through all the adverts and all coming up then. So, starting off with TTL F2 then on Sunday. You could be joined there with Nexus Jack. He'll be in the box for that one. And the tracks will be racing around on that one will be America at 8 o'clock at Sunday, followed by 8:45 when we go over the other side of the border into Mexico. So join Jack on that one for Sunday. And then going into throughout the week then on Tuesday, you can join Kieran in the box. We'll be racing in TTL F1 a live round Brazil at 8 PM, so join him for that one on Tuesday. And then on Thursday, Andy will be back in the box with Kieran, where we'll be racing around Abu Dhabi for the last season of the TTL F1. So I hope you guys can tune in and watch on that one. And then obviously next week will be the Challenge Cup. Now the rumours I have it for the Challenge Cup, I've been told, which will be leaked out in full detail either on Tuesday or Thursday with the guys in the box. Hopefully leak it out. Is that it's going to be 100% race, potentially round Austria. So I've been told. Yet still waiting to confirm, but that is the rumour. So hope you can join me on that one. I will be having a guest commentary on that one to help me out with that 100% now. So obviously listen out throughout the week with Kieran and Andy, letting you all on the info. I will let them know in the meantime. So, and also going into Season 4. Season 4 will be a shortened version of this season. It will be, I believe, 10 races for Season 4, and I believe it will be 11 races for Season 5. So obviously it'll be one season will be a 10-week race lobby, followed by the in-season Challenge Cup as well to add into the mix. And then obviously Season 5 will be 11 race plus any Challenge Cups and in-season Classic Cups on top of that one. So, Season 3 all finally done and over with. Hamilton is the Drivers' World Champion of Season 3 and happily now retired from it. And McLaren's also getting the Constructors' Champions courtesy of Spike and Spaghetti Chips. So congratulations to the guys, and also congratulations to the drivers who've taken part in this season. It's been an amazing season throughout, and great racing and driving for everyone. Action packed throughout as well. And I'm also privileged to be in the box to commentate for you guys as well. So then, till next week then, thank you for joining throughout Season 3. It's been a pleasure as always providing commentary in the box. And hopefully I'll see you all next week. Don't forget, 8 PM next Friday is the Challenge Cup. So join me on that one with a special guest commentator, which again that will also be announced throughout Tuesday or Thursday. So till then guys, take care, enjoy your Friday night, enjoy your weekend, do enjoy the next of the week, and I will see you at the end of it on Friday. Take care, bye bye.